Many students dedicate their lives to their education, but one Elon student is dedicating his life to his country. We talked with this student Saturday to find out what inspires him.
So it's just a part of my family, it's just part of who I am.
Elon Sr. and ROTC Cadet First Lieutenant DeMarco Crum worked with other ROTC members to bring wounded warriors from Fort Bragg to Elon on Saturday. Wounded Warriors is a program created by the military to help veterans who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder or other physical injuries to readjust to the real world. Jeff Brunell has been in the program for 2 years, and he appreciates the break from the base.
And then trips like we have today to get people out and about, away from the medical stuff for a little bit, so kind of clear their minds.
And Crum says bringing them here was more inspiring than he imagined.
And now I'm starting to get closer to where I start to see them as not peers, but more so just people to look up to, so that I can hope to reach their level, and just to serve my country the way they have.
Crum's mom is still on active duty. He says growing up in a military family shaped his life.
Just serving the military, I think, is my way of just giving back.
But there's something that scares him. He knows that one day he could end up with PTSD, emotionally wounded like many of the veterans here.
I mean, I think about it a lot. I mean, I definitely, because I know a lot of people that have suffered problems from it, both psychological and physical, but it's a risk I'm willing to take for the country.
He thanks God every night his mom is still safe, and he says though it's scary, the desire to serve his country outweighs his fears.
I love this country, and I'm willing to put my life on the line for it. So it's that's just as simple as that.
For more information about the Wounded Warriors Project, visit our website at www.phoenix14news.wordpress.com.
2 Elon Career Center faculty members have been honored for their outstanding work counseling students. Ross Wade of the School of Communications received the 2011 New Professional Award, which honors a North Carolina career counselor who has been working for less than 5 years. Pam Brumbaugh, Director of Experiential Education, received the 2011 Roy N. Anderson Award, which honors a faculty member who has made a significant contribution to career services over an extended period of time. Red Dog Farm is an animal rescue network dedicated to the rehabilitation, sheltering, and adoption of animals of all sizes. Scarlett Fakar joins us here today and has more with the story.
The program is made up of foster homes, meaning that volunteers open their own doors temporarily for as many animals as they can until someone else can adopt them. I visited 2 of the foster homes and talked with several volunteers about what makes this program unique.
We focus on domestic farm animals as well as just the dogs and the cats in the area. I just like the entirety, the fact that we'll help all the animals if we can.
Red Dog Farm has between 30 and 50 different foster homes in Greensboro, and the volunteers feel that opening their own doors for these animals is worth the time and commitment.
I think the need is just so great in this community. You could say, well, there's other animal rescues, but there's a need for each one.
At any given time, there's about 20 to 30 animals in the Red Dog Farm program. Now, Roscoe here is a 4-month-old golden retriever who is an owner surrender dog, and he's been at Jill's house for about a month now. Owner surrender animals are pets that owners give to Red Dog Farm because they just can't care for them. But the organization also takes in lost and even mistreated animals like this 7-year-old horse, Rooster.
Rooster came to the program from an abusive situation where he was not being treated correctly, and so he came to us pretty scared and timid and just very wary of people in general.
But with Beth and Lauren's compassion and help, Rooster has become more comfortable with people around him. And Beth says he's ready to start over with someone new.
There's a reward and a loyalty that oftentimes comes from the rescue animal that you can't just necessarily find anywhere else. And so we really find it to be a very memorable and rewarding experience on all fronts.
Red Dog Farm is a nonprofit organization and offers short-term as well as long-term volunteer opportunities. And for those who can't adopt, they have the option of sponsoring an animal. You can find out more about the organization on our website. I'm Scarlett Fakar. Back to you guys.
Elon Elementary students attended a mobile science center hosted by Dr. Dave Gammon's Science Without Borders class. Our Ryan Green has more.
Thursday afternoon was filled with fun and facts for some 4th and 5th graders from Elon Elementary School. The students took a field trip to the Mobile Science Center to learn more about one of their favorite subjects.
Wow!
Assistant Professor of Biology, Dave Gammon, asked his students to come up with activities that would get the elementary students involved, while still having fun.
Kids start out as little scientists. They're interested in how the world works. They want to understand everything.
Activities included putting together magnetic jewelry, inflating balloons with baking soda and vinegar, and making ice cream.
You want to make me really jumble it all around?
Karen Parsons, a 4th grade teacher and co-leader of the Science Club, believes that this event is a good way to get elementary students excited about science.
When they come back, they're just like, wow, we did this. This is so fabulous. They'll go home and talk to their parents and say how great it was.
And it wasn't just the kids having fun.
The best part by far for me is to see the kids when they come in, the wide-eyed wonder, they look around and they get to learn exciting things.
The college students had fun teaching the younger students, while the elementary students loved learning new things.
We have a great rapport going with Elon Elementary School, and I hope that we continue doing it for years into the future.
Ryan Green, Phoenix14 News.
Dr. Gammon said the Mobile Science Center is a great opportunity for Elon students to engage in general science with the community.
Still to come on Phoenix 14 News, Christmas is coming, but there's one holiday to celebrate before we get there. Coming up next, why some just can't wait for Christmas to come.
And later, tips for a healthy turkey day. Stick around, we're back in 2.
It's not even Thanksgiving yet, but plenty of people are moving forward to the next holiday. Monica Yantosh found out who is decking the halls early.
Traditionally, the Christmas season starts when Santa arrives at the end of the Thanksgiving Day parade. But for some store owners, starting after Thanksgiving would be too late.
Increasingly, every year, people just skip right over Thanksgiving, go right on to Christmas decoration.
Keith Phillips owns our Keith Phillips Florist in Burlington. And while his customers start buying early, Phillips has a different idea.
I happen to disagree with that.
Set for Christmas, but Phillips says his home is not ready for the season just yet.
I never put up anything until the beginning of Advent.
Phillips says it's not just for religious reasons.
No, we don't mind it a bit in the world. We just try to work with them, knowing that seems to be the trend. We just try each year to be a little more prepared for that.
For Thanksgiving, his store is filled with Christmas decorations.
You get a little tired of it if you started before Thanksgiving.
The wreaths and trees are out now because that's the new trend, to start before Thanksgiving. And even some students are decorating early.
Christmas is my favorite holiday.
Meredith Grace is an Elon sophomore and is one of those people that starts decorating early.
For me, Christmas is just so exciting that I can't wait until after Thanksgiving. Like 3 weeks just isn't enough time.
She doesn't care what people think when she puts up lights and turns on Christmas music in October.
I get so excited about Christmas that, I'm like, I just can't wait. And I don't think they quite understand that.
And for Grace, her preparations don't make her tired of the season, but increase her excitement.
If I'm not prepared for that by being super excited for Christmas before then, it's kind of not as magical for me.
Monica Yantosh, Phoenix14 News.
For those hoping to get into the holiday spirit after Thanksgiving, Elon's annual Festival of Lights will be on December 1st.
The Thanksgiving holiday is right around the corner, and it's one of the busiest times for traveling. Here are some tips to help your travel experience run a little smoother. If you're flying, check in online. It'll save you time, and you won't have to wait in a long line at the airport. And if you can't check in online, get to the airport as early as possible. If you're traveling with food or gifts, check the TSA website to make sure it's allowed in your luggage. To avoid losing your luggage, pack a carry-on bag. And if you're driving, try to avoid driving during rush hour. Make sure you are well rested before starting a long trip, and be sure to buckle up.
There's some good news for everyone driving home for Thanksgiving. Gas prices are lower than they were for fall break. The cheapest place to fill up on your way out of town is at the Shell station on South Church Street. Regular is $3.25. The Citgo right across the street is slightly more expensive with regular at $3.27. The Kangaroo and Marathon on Haggard both have regular for $3.32. Gas around town is cheaper than the national average, which is currently $3.39. Gas is more expensive this year than it was last year for Thanksgiving, but this year the highways will be more crowded as more people hit the road. AAA predicts that 42.5 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles during the holiday weekend. That's 2 million more people than last year.
With Thanksgiving coming up this Thursday, there are many questions on how to eat healthy with so much food around. Phoenix 14's Eric Halperin found some answers.
There's only 3 days left until Thanksgiving and the wonderful feast that so many look forward to each year. It's a time for many people to indulge in typically unhealthy food. But there are some ways to cut a few calories to make the meal a little healthier.
A lot of people get, confused with the eat this, not that. We can talk about different things to purchase at McDonald's, one sandwich versus another, and that's what we see a lot of. But we also have to think of, how much we're eating of it.
At your Thanksgiving dinner table this Thursday, some options will be healthier than others. For example, homemade cranberry sauce will always be better than cranberry sauce from the can or the bottle. And when it comes dessert time, a pumpkin pie is going to be your best bet. Sweet potatoes are another popular Thanksgiving food, but they don't need the marshmallows and brown sugar to be tasty.
Sweet potatoes are a fantastic option, so them on their own, maybe with a little bit of salt and maybe some butter is okay.
Also, common dinner rolls are a better choice than cornbread. But instead of worrying about counting the calories of your Thanksgiving dinner, focus on enjoying the time with your family and friends.
A lot of times it really isn't about the food for me, really. It's being around other people, enjoying that time.
So enjoy the food and make some memories this Thanksgiving. Eric Halperin, Phoenix 14 News.
Here's 2 more tips for a healthier Thanksgiving. Try everything at the table, but exercise portion control by only taking a little of each dish, and avoid going back for seconds. Still to come on Phoenix 14 News. An annual Elon Thanksgiving tradition celebrated its 20th anniversary this year.
And Elon took on the App State Mountaineers in the final football game of the season. We'll have highlights after the break.
The men's basketball team had a great week, pulling off 2 wins at home. After beating the University of South Carolina Gamecocks on Tuesday, the Phoenix went on to beat the Rutgers Camden Friday night. The Phoenix put 20 points on the scoreboard before Scarlet Raptors even posted a single point. Tomorrow, the Phoenix travel to Central New Jersey to battle the Princeton Tigers. The women's basketball team also had a great start to their season. The only loss so far comes from UNC Charlotte. That loss came one day after the Phoenix nearly doubled their score against Virginia Intermont, winning that game 105-53. The ladies travel to Greenville this weekend to take on Robert Morris in East Carolina in the East Carolina Thanksgiving Tournament.
On Saturday, football fans headed to Rhodes Stadium for one last football game. The Elon Phoenix football team faced off against App State in their last game of the season. The Phoenix started out strong, scoring 3 touchdowns within the first quarter. Rhodes Stadium was packed with fans cheering for their football team. Then things started going downhill for Elon. Interceptions and penalties allowed the Mountaineers to take the lead away from the Phoenix. In the fourth quarter, Elon seemed to bounce back, but just when it seemed like Elon could win, App knocked the ball out of the air, preventing the Phoenix from scoring a touchdown. Elon lost 24-28. The Phoenix ended the season with an overall record of 5-6. The 20th annual Turkey Trot took place at the intramural fields on Friday, as both students and faculty came out to run or walk the course. It only cost participants 2 canned goods to enter. Those would be donated to the Loaves and Fishes organization. Whether running individually or as a group, all participants were greeted with food and prizes at the end of the race. And the winners received Turkey Trot trophies.
The final chapter of the Twilight series began on Friday at midnight. Twihards gathered at the Alamance Crossing Movie Theater to sink their teeth into Breaking Dawn Part 1. The latest movie based on the popular book by Stephanie Meyer fans finally get to see the characters Edward and Bella tie the knot at their fairy tale wedding. So far, the film has earned just shy of $1.4 million over the opening weekend, beating out Happy Feet 2 and Immortals. Part 2 of the last Twilight film will hit theaters next November. Man, Jason, are you a Twilight fan?
Team who? Team what? I have no idea what anything to do with Twilight is.
So maybe Thanksgiving. That sounds a little more appealing to you than Twilight?
That sounds great. Thanksgiving's going to be awesome. Are you traveling?
I am. I'm actually traveling back to Dallas tomorrow.
Okay, so you're happy about these new travel prices and everything?
Oh, I am so excited. I cannot wait to get home. That's for sure.
Well, great. That's all the news we have for this week's Phoenix 14 News.
For news throughout the week, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or check our website, www.phoenix14news.wordpress.com. I'm Nicole Chadwick.
And I'm Jason Puckett. Have a happy Thanksgiving, Elon.